Yo, what is going on, everyone in the XRP community? Hope you guys are having yourselves a fantastic day today, as usual, and it is that time of the year. Ripple has dropped yet another quarterly report, and the thing I love about them is that they always come through with some sort of new piece of information. Anytime I go through one, I always come away knowing something completely new I had not known before. So, guys, let's go ahead and get into the Q4 report. I have actually not read it yet, so I'm pretty much going to be treating it as like a live analysis, as if I was, going over on this on stream. Like I just found it like in the middle of it, right? So before that though, I have a really, really nice piece of info from Stored XRP, and just another kind of ammunition to have to defend when people start saying, but banks are never going to use XRP. I kid you not. In the most recent stream I have done, I had someone come in all caps, but banks are never going to use XRP, you idiot. And it's like, God, you guys, good Lord, you got to do some research. So check this out from Stored XRP. This is clearly from a LinkedIn page from some sort of developer and showing kind of his resume of what he's done. And this is kind of one snapshot of it that specifically involves Ripple and XRP and a major high street bank. So, oh yeah, no banks. No bank. Oh gosh, guys, banks don't want to touch XRP. This guy was a full stack developer, Red Badger, for 4 months in London. Development of new international payment site and API services for major high street bank using Ripple cryptocurrency. I mean, does it really get better than that? Does it really get better than that? Concrete proof that literally a developer built API services for a major high street bank. We're probably thinking, anywhere above $1 trillion in, total net worth. And, God, what's it called? I mean, dude, like a tier 1 bank in the correspondent banking system, literally building API services for a major high street bank. And then they literally, God, they actually, for the first time I've ever seen this, they specifically say yes, like using Ripple cryptocurrency. It's as if this was like meant for the XRP community to stumble upon. So yeah, literally services for a major high street bank using Ripple cryptocurrency. And then it's back in 2017. And we are in 2020. What do you think these banks are doing now? Probably a lot closer to actual deployment than they were in 2017, I'll tell you that. All right, so Q4 report, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me take a quick sip of water and we'll get this thing going. So, Ripple publishes the quarterly XRP markets report. Okay, pretty much we don't need to read that. We clearly know everything in there. Okay, yeah, I think we know the history of XRP. That is pretty clear. I think this last one, though, does have... This is where it kind of actually starts. So since the creation of the XRP ledger, the numbers of closed ledgers has exceeded 51 million as of December 31st, 2019, with over 150 known validators participating on the network. The diversity of these validator nodes further guarantees fairness and neutrality on the XRP ledger. No single entity can decide which transactions succeed or fail, and no single entity can alter a transaction after it is added to the ledger. As a result, no transaction submitted to the XRP ledger has ever been discriminated against or censored, unlike some proof-of-work systems, where small groups of miners control over 51% of the hashing power and could potentially reverse transactions. All right. Disciplined, responsible stakeholders continued pause in XRP sales. That was like a lot of hype once we first got into Q4 2019. A lot of people were very excited about the fact in the Q3 report how they hinted towards yeah, we're actually going to hold back OTC sales. We're going to probably pause programmatic selling. And people get excited about that because a lot of things get spread around the internet of just, oh, Ripple's dumping, yada, oh God, they're just selling so much of this currency up on the open exchange. When they finally come out and say, yeah, we have completely paused the, what do they call it? Programmatic selling, so like open market selling. And then it's like, okay, well, if they come around and say, yeah, we've completely stopped that, and you see the price go down, for a damn fact, it's like, no, that's not Ripple doing that. That's just the market doing what the market does, because a lot of people love to put blame on Ripple and say that they are the ones manipulating the prices, when clearly, for 1 quarter, they haven't even sold any XRP on the open market. Guess what? It still managed to drop. So, see my point there? Right. Okay. As readers may recall, in Q2 2019, Ripple shifted to a more conservative volume benchmark for XRP sales. They went away from CoinMarketCap and then went to CCTT, significantly reduced XRP sales. In Q3 2019, Ripple further reduced XRP sales and paused programmatic sales. Ripple maintained this approach throughout the entirety of Q4. However, obtaining publicly available sources and trusted trading volume remains to be an ongoing challenge. There is still much progress to be made, and Ripple will continue to evaluate its benchmarks and work proactively with industry participants toward addressing the persistence of fake volumes in industry volume data. So it sounds like what they just said there was that, okay, yeah, we got really conservative on the XRP volume data. They went from CoinMarketCap right down to Crypto Compare top tier. And I think this last part here about there is still so much progress to be made. I think what they're saying there is like, okay, we're actually going to completely pause programmatic selling for Q4, and it may even continue beyond Q4, maybe into Q1 to 2020. But it seems like they're literally not selling any XRP on the open market because they might actually think that CCTT is actually showing an inflated volume as well. Because it is really, really hard in the crypto space to get like an accurate, actual benchmark on true volume that has come into the market. Because there's so much wash traders and all that. It's mainly wash trading. I think like 70% of the Bitcoin volume you see on CoinMarketCap is like 70% of that's wash trading. So more than half of it wash trading. So that's where it's like, okay, so we narrow it down to like the top exchanges, but then still people can wash trade on those exchanges. Like that's the thing. So I think Ripple's really saying here, it's like, yeah, we've gotten conservative, but it's like we still don't even know if that's 100% correct. So hence the, hey, paused programmatic sales for all of Q4. All right. Last quarter, XRP sales were, okay, I think this pretty much what they're saying here is all just, yeah, all just a sentence version of this chart pretty much. So sales summary, dollars and millions. See, Q3 2019, they had $50 million worth of OTC sales to institutions. Q4, though, brought that thing down to 13, so they're actually dropping the OTC selling as well. I do remember that they said they weren't going to completely close off OTC, but they were really going to, get it very, very, very small. So, good to see actual proof of that, right? Programmatic sales in Q3 2019, they did $16 million worth. Q4, none. And you know what's funny is so many people were blaming Ripple for us dropping down to like 16, 17 cents. Thank God we're out of there back in the 20s. But it's like, dude, they didn't sell one freaking XRP on the open market. So clearly there's other people manipulating it. And it's not, Ripple's the one doing all of this. You know what I mean? So total sales from Q3 to Q4 dropping significantly again, just like it was from Q2 into Q3. Okay. All right, note. Reported volume. CCTT's reported daily volume for XRP decreased in Q4. Okay, the average daily volume was reported at 187 million in Q4 versus 198 million in Q3, and below Q2's reported at 429. Okay. Volatility. Again, XRP hasn't been exactly doing the greatest, but based on Crypto Compare's closing price of XRP, XRP's volatility daily returns over Q4 was 3.1%, a drop in volatility from Q3 to 3.6%. And again, technically for XRP specific use case, it actually is kind of good that volatility is lower. That's what we kind of want here. Even though it does happen in 3 seconds, it's kind of, the best thing to get the most, the most stability possible, right? So XRP's volatility over the quarter was similar to that of Bitcoin, 3%, and that of ETH, %. Escrow, in Q4 2019, 3 billion XRP were again released out of Escrow, 1 billion each month. Of note, in December of this quarter, Ripple returned a 1 full billion back to Escrow for the first time ever. In total, across the quarter, 2.7 billion XRP were returned and subsequently put into a new Escrow contract. Okay. So really, they have not sold that much of the XRP. They are really being quite conservative now. History of Escrow. Okay, I think we already know that. I think this is for what they're implementing here is kind of giving brief explanations kind of partway through it. So for people that, aren't XRP junkies like us, and they really don't understand what's going on, that's where it's giving them the kind of the brief overview so they can understand what the escrow actually is. Okay. On-demand liquidity. Okay, here we go. This is XRP legitimately being used in institutions. All right. So in November 2019, Ripple announced that over 24 companies have become customers of on-demand liquidity, including MoneyGram, GoLens, Via Americas, FlashFX, Interbank Peru, in addition to the US dollar to Mexican peso, US to Philippines, ODL corridors. The company went into production with ODL payments originating from Australia into the US dollar and Philippine peso, and a new production ODL corridor from Euro to USD. Okay. Okay, they're getting started on the Euro USD. I like to see that. I like to see that. So plans for additional corridors across APAC. I don't remember exactly what these are, but I know that's, Latin America. I believe that's Eastern Europe, I think. And then APAC is, and I have no clue what is APAC. I forgot. Asia Pacific region. Okay, yeah, they're actually very, very big in that region. I think half of the Ripple customers alone are actually based in Southeast Asia, I do believe. All right. So, okay, seeing some numbers here. In 2019, dollar value transacted through ODL increased more than 100 times between Q1 and Q4, and specifically from Q4 to Q3 by 650%. The number of ODL transactions also increased by 390% from Q3 to Q4, showcasing high customer demand for leveraging digital assets, specifically XRP, in cross-border transactions. All right, so we're seeing dollar value has increased 650%. And then the number of the ODL transactions increased by 390%. For quarter over quarter, that is very, very impressive. And if they keep up at that same pace of 650% in dollar value, and plus, that's not even considering if it increases, which it most likely will. I mean, good God, you're looking at what, like couple 1,000% growth every single year? That is very, very nice. So showcasing high customer demand for leveraging digital assets, specifically XRP, in cross-border transactions. So in addition, Ripple made an investment in Bitso, the largest exchange in Mexico, to support RippleNet's US Mexican peso corridor by providing critical liquidity for payments. Last year, Ripple launched ODL capabilities with MoneyGram in Mexico and Bitso as the key exchange partner. MoneyGram has publicly reported that they have moved more than 10% of its transaction volume between the United States and Mexico through ODL. Really nice, really nice. Okay, Xpring, again, brief explanation. So they launched the Xpring.io their investment in Bread Wallet. They're going to integrate XRP into Bread Wallet. They actually did also finally add XRP to BitPay, so I don't have to use Bitcoin anymore. I mean, good God, it is literally a pain now. And especially when I was making my Bitcoin transaction, when the market was kind of a little frisky and it broke 9K. Dude, 3 hours and lost $10 to volatility. I don't see that as useful. All right. So, new liquidity partnerships. Derivatives trading in digital assets recorded remarkable growth in 2019. XRP derivatives may further develop in 2020 amid a continuous general crypto derivative boom that is set to outspace spot volume by multiples. Damn, okay, XRP derivatives may further develop in 2020. I like that. Okay, to date, XRP derivatives have become available on several exchanges such as Binance, Huobi, OKEx, AAX, and FTX. Moreover, XRP derivatives are a potentially important tool in order to manage exposures and transactions through Ripple's cross-border payment solutions, where XRP leveraged. Okay, really? See, again, I never get let down by quarterly reports. Borrowing and lending, the digital asset borrowing lending market is all spent through the past years. Market is now considered a $5 billion interest industry. Okay, so just... Oh, they're talking borrowing lending market in general, or crypto? I'm not sure on that. Okay. XRP has become available on many of the largest platforms in crypto lending, including Genesis, Celsius, Nexo, and Salt. Okay, market commentary, market moves. Mining groups in China control 66% of the Bitcoin hash rate. Oh my god, according to a report by CoinShares, this is the highest recorded percentage controlled by China since CoinShares started tracking hash rate in the past 2 years. Chinese President Xi Jinping called for more support and investment in blockchain technology. Weeks later, China's central bank ordered crypto firms to halt operations and warn investors against digital currencies. Again, Christine Lagarde from the ECB potentially announcing digitalization of the euro. Maybe. I don't know. So Bitcoin slumped into a six month low in November after China's restrictions and the latest crackdown of the crypto firms. Bitmain and Canon found for their respective. I wonder when Ripple's going to IPO. I'm really curious about that. Kraken continues acquisition spree. See here. Investor alert, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much, yep. Still in the regulation for XRP. So industry player news. I think we know all this stuff. TransferWise will allow payments on the biggest e-wallets. Ant Financial, partnering with Finabler. That one was a nice one because we've been speculating about Ant Financial for quite some time. Facebook co-founder, oh yes, oh god, Mark Zuckerberg literally gave Ripple, the announcement of Libra gave Ripple the record week. Think about that. So guys, that is the Q4 2019 report. Man, I gotta say, it is like an actual sport. It feels like a full-on exercise trying to read through that whole thing. I mean, good God. But anyways, guys, pretty good stuff, guys. The Ripple ecosystem, the XRP ecosystem is doing nothing but continuing to grow. I know on more of the price action end. I haven't really been growing that much, but again, we got the Bitcoin halving coming up in 4 months. Should be coming to the end of this bear cycle. Honestly, any month now, because we're what, like 750 something days into a bear market, and the record XRP bear market was 860 days. And I mean, a real question whether or not we break that. Hoping we don't. I'm really hoping we don't, because I would love to wait, no more than maybe 90 more days to really start getting this going. But with the Bitcoin having come up, it's like, for Bitcoin, at least it's like a guaranteed pump, because these Chinese whales have to keep it high in price for profitable. If it doesn't at least double, they got to start turning off machines. And they don't want to do that, because having that much control over the Bitcoin network is definitely profitable. Okay, so 650% increase in ODL quarter over quarter. And I think there was like one more good thing. Oh yeah, the derivatives contracts for XRP should continue to grow in 2020. Nice to hear from Ripple. And yeah, programmatic selling completely paused. Completely paused. People cannot manipulate Ripple and keep saying that, or not manipulate Ripple, but people got to quit blaming Ripple, saying it's, they're the ones that are selling. It's like, no, there are plenty of market participants. Ripple's just one of them. And they've paused their programmatic sales. So, really good stuff, guys. The XRP ledger keeps moving forward and ain't going to stop. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning the video today. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe, check the links in the description if you do support the channel. Hit those post notifications so you never miss a video or a stream, and I'll see you guys in the next one.